Hello, everybody. Here we are with Elliott again. Hi, Elliott.
Hi, Lorenzo. Good to be back. Good to be here.
Yeah, little bit of an experiment today with this new format of a live stream. Let's see how it goes. As you may know, this has been an intense week, honestly, which just ended because we had the first 4 online rounds of the brackets for Microsoft Excel World Championship. We had round 1 and 2 on Saturday, round 3 and 4 on yesterday, basically. And we are now ready to see who are the top 8 finalists going directly into day 3 in Las Vegas. So lots to comment today.
Absolutely. And you may remember over on my channel, we did some predictions as to who we thought would get through from each of the brackets. We had a first choice and a second choice for each. So we're able to see how our predictions got on as well. So that'll be good fun.
Yeah. I'm very curious to see how we did compare also to the analytical models, so to speak, we have seen in the past weeks. Before jumping into that, maybe just a quick reminder of where we are in the competition. So basically, we have finished the centerpiece of this slide here. So the online rounds are over. The top 8 players, which we will see in a while, have already qualified for day 3 in Las Vegas. The next 24 top players, so whoever did it to the round of 32 is already qualified for day 2. And then we will have a bunch of other players, I'm among that, which will need to qualify through the last chance qualification round, so day 1, so to speak. And at the end of the story, we will have 36 players coming from last chance qualification round, 4 wildcards, and the top-ish 24 going into day 2. Then among those, 16 will advance to day 3, joining the top 8 we had on Saturday. So that's the format, and we are 4 weeks to go into Las Vegas. So I think we're all quite excited for that.
Absolutely. The excitement is melting. We all know where we stand now. We know who's going to be battling out in those last chance qualifiers. Quite a few big names, as we'll see in those other last chance qualifications, whether the last chance or in those top 24. So it's going to be tight to get on that stage. I think there's a few people that have made the top 8 that are probably wiping their brow, quite relieved they've already made that spot on the final stage.
Yeah, I think this is start to become a bit repetitive, but the level is clearly higher compared to last year, both on the, let's say, regular players, but also lots of new players who performed really good. So we're seeing a number of above 1,000 scores. Scoring full marks without the bonus point is not enough in most cases to qualify. So yeah, why don't we jump into the recap for our online brackets? Now we should go with bracket by bracket to see how we did also with the predictions.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Here we go. So here were the round 1 results. No surprises who won here. Andrew and I absolutely smashing it. Almost full marks in the last 2 rounds. Full marks in that first round, and that tough round 2 case, scoring 940. Almost knocked out by Chi Sang Yao there, which very close. It would have been great to see. And unsurprisingly, June Waller in that number 2 spot in round 4. Let's see how that matches with our predictions, so we can get those up.
Yeah, so I mean, this was quite an easy one as a top pick, and Andrew demonstrated once again to be really the man to beat, honestly. So we both, I think, picked Andrew as top choice for the qualification, despite having, let's say, not incredible result for round 2, but it was still enough to pass against Se Sheng Yo. Hope the pronunciation is right. And then my second pick was Jean, who performed actually really good until round 4, but I mean, it was clearly tough against Andrew. And see, your second pick is Bo, who did pretty well as well, but had to face a full 1250 score from Jean. So, I mean, that's a bummer for sure, but it is what it is.
Absolutely, and it's as you say, it's a testament to how tough the competition is this year that someone can score over 1,000 points and still not get through round one. It's such a tough competition this year. I think when we made the predictions, Bo was not liking their chances against Sean, but a lot of what I know I've learned from Bo's videos. So they were still my second pick. Tough against Sean, absolutely.
Yeah. I see Bo is connected, so hi Bo. I see a bunch of comments in the chat. Yeah, I think his solution are, mind blowing. But again, the matching here and the seeding against top players, it's really tough. And I think I will feel a little bit of pain again soon, because we're moving towards bracket 2, where I faced a similar situation, unfortunately.
Absolutely. You had a really strong round 1 and then an incredibly strong round 2 to get 1,220 points and pipped at the post by Peter Charles there. 14 points ahead of you. Looking at those other scores in that round, you were, for that bracket, the second best performer. So that's just the way the brackets fall, I suppose. But I think that puts you in good standing for these other routes to the final. I think we can hold out hope for you yet.
Yeah, for sure gave me some extra motivation to perform even better. Yeah, I think it was an okay/good round 1 and a quite strong round 2. Unfortunately, not enough, but I'm very happy to, let's say, have lost with Peter, who's a very solid player, a very nice guy. So that's it. The curious thing is that I'm assuming both of us went for the same strategy, so being rather fast. I submitted with 5 minutes on the clock, I think, and I think Peter did similarly. In hindsight, it would have been better to check the scores, but I mean, that's okay. We both had a small mistake compromising the full score, but that's it.
Absolutely, and I think I've heard similar from Hayden Weissman as well. I think he, for anyone that doesn't know, you do round 1 and round 2 back to back, regardless of whether or not you get through. You don't find out till afterwards, and the same with round 3 and round 4. Hayden found that his round 4 solution, he did really well, and he submitted it in really little time, but he made some errors in that round 3 one. I think he maybe even made errors in submitting submitting the answers. So he lost out to Peter Charles there. And then Peter Charles losing out to Jack Franken with a full set of points, which lines up pretty well with your picks. I think they were your number 1 and your number 2 pick. So good.
Yeah, actually, Jack number 2 pick, but he performed really strong during the entire season. So I mean, it's a really strong player, and also, I mean, Peter. The scores are really there, so it's really a small difference here that can make it or break it towards being a top 8 in the online round. Unfortunately, your top pick didn't make it through the round 2, but last chance qualification round, here I come. And then Hayden, made it to the third step here. So until now, I think our predictions are working quite good.
Yeah, reasonably well so far. I think some curveballs coming up. I think these are the only 2 brackets where seeded players got through. So in the other brackets, some upsets coming up, I think. Move on to number 3.
I see Liana excitement to be live here, but actually a bit of spoiler, she performed really strong yesterday, so that's the performance which is important. So anticipating some congratulations for Liana.
Absolutely. Okay, so there we go. Bracket 3, we can see Chris Clark for the UK. Chris has been a very, very strong player all through the year, so not a massive surprise. And a few other very strong scores in there. Let's see how that compares to our picks. We both chose Chris. He was your top pick and my second pick. I went with David Brown as my top pick, but because Chris beat him and they were facing each other in round 2, David got knocked out there. And you had Anders as your second pick, who performed very well as well.
Yeah, I think they were on the live stream. I mean, Anders, Samir, Chris Clark. So the right part of this bracket. Anders lost to Samir by really 50 points, which is basically nothing. So still a solid second pick. No big surprises here, I will say. Among the top players of the brackets, everyone made it at least through round 3 and round 4. Still holding up our predictions also here.
Absolutely. And moving on to the fourth bracket, we see...
Okay, this is a very tough one.
very, very tough one. We see Brittany Deaton taking that top space. Not a massive surprise. She was one of the final 8 on stage last year. But it was a tough bracket. You have William Gerritsen in there. You've got Joseph Palisock. You've got Tom Vincent, who I know I've seen strong scores for. Renia Wessels as well. Harry Gross is in there. A very tough bracket.
Yeah. We also think spot the winner here. So very happy for Brittany getting to the top 8. Then we had Willem, we had Joe Palisock, we had Kobe, who I think it's quite a new name, but performed really strong in the first 2 rounds. But we had also Renier, Jeremy Freelove, so lots of big names here. Harry Cross, Jesse Weber. So, lots of them didn't make it even through round 3. So really strong bracket. Absolutely. And prediction still holding. So
a lot of people, I think, in that bracket that might be trying their luck in Vegas later on. On to the next one then. Some upsets in this one. You can see Michael Jarman getting 0 points. So we'll just clarify. He was on holiday and didn't have Wi-Fi at the time. So I think that's a good excuse for not scoring any points. And then looking at the rest of the scores, who else is in there that's doing well? I mean, Joaquin getting the top spot, 1,220 points in that final battle is going well.
Mm-hmm.
Adam Carter and Benjamin Weber not making it even to round 4. It's some very strong performances there in that bracket.
Yeah, here are some big accepts as well, because Benjamin going out with 1180. It's a tough one. Joaquin actually, who I didn't know, performed really strong. So really deserves the top 8 spot. Our prediction were slightly less accurate here, but I mean it's normal, I guess. And looking at the other scores, Adam Carter knockout at round 3, so quite scared about what the level of competition we will find in Vegas in 4 weeks' time. But on the other side, it's for sure motivational.
Absolutely. We've got 3 sets of brackets left. And then maybe it's worth having a look at some of the comments. There's been a lot of comments from our community in the chat. It's I think probably one of the best things for me, I'm sure you think the same, is the community around this competition. It's a really good group of people. Lots of people sharing what they're doing, which is great, and lots of people happy to help each other out. So thank you all for your support. I'm sure we'll have a look at those comments later on in this stream. Going on to this,
in the comments, they're just clearly highlighting that one of the closest match of the full tournament, which was Brittany against Willem, was actually decided on time because they both scored 955. Apparently, Brittany submitted a couple of minutes earlier. I don't know exactly the timing, so that's tough. And also tough. Very curious, because 955, it's a very precise score with probably same level of right answers and wrong answers. So very close.
Absolutely. It'd be interesting to see where those answers differed, if at all, whether they fell with the same trap in the questions. That's actually how I got knocked out last year by Jakob. Was on time. It's a very tough decision, very tough when it happens to you, but it's how it works with the rule with the rules.
In the meantime, Jack is asking how we can perform this magic scrolling the PowerPoint. I will give full credits to Elliott, who built this nice presentation. You need to know we're also PowerPoint wizards. Elliott with transitions. I mostly do corporate slides, but that's the problem when you don't do Excel full time at work. You end up doing slides. So at least proves useful to show this kind of beauty and transition in the slides.
Yeah, it's just simple PowerPoint with some morph transitions. I'm gearing up for that PowerPoint World Championship.
That will be really competitive from day one. But not as exciting as Excel, probably.
I know, some fun little animations. See what we have. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. We're on to the third last bracket then. This
was a morning session, so the scores needs to be compared with the first bracket. I think we saw the one with Andrew and I. I had my friend Sergio here, not making it to the top 8 by 68 points or something like that. So really close match against Ben. I think they were my first and second pick, but also some other strong performances here. Also like Julien going out with almost 1,000 points. Steven Soyu, very strong player. Nicolas Miko, who probably gave up in round 2 for some reason I don't know. I see Jasper losing with 1160, so another very, very, very tough match. Danny Whitaker, Matthew Fried. This bracket was really tough as well.
Absolutely. I think I saw a message from Nicholas at the time saying it was too much stress, too much pressure to try and do a second one right after the first one. He just wanted to go into spectator mode, which I absolutely feel. It was while it was sad to be knocked out in the first couple of rounds, we'll see in a minute, for me, it did mean I got to just sit back and enjoy round 3 and rounds 4. And I will say, Julian, who got knocked out there in round, round 2,
yeah,
he wrote one of the cases for the afternoon sessions, which was just beautiful. I've not had a go at it yet, but I'm looking forward
to the Volcano one.
The Volcano one, it's a map of Reunion Island, which is an island that my family knows quite well. And it's just visually beautiful. So looking forward to having it.
I did that really 2 hours ago. It was a very, very nice case. The incredible thing is that I tried to design a couple of cases on my own, and I started designing at exactly the same case based on the Sicily island of Italy, which is a volcano which is called Etna. But instead of having lava, I was designing the wind to spread the dust among the cities. But same strategy. So the arrows, the speed of the wind, which was the quantity of lava. So when I saw the case, I said, "Wow, okay, we had the same idea." Very nice. Anyway. In the meantime, Elliott, you have been elected as a speaker for Vegas to all the PowerPoint session, and also as a first PowerPoint World Champion. So
there we go.
Your layout is really appreciated here, apparently.
There we go. I've got Deanna says the LeBron James of PowerPoint, stealing Dim's nickname for Excel and popping that into the PowerPoint world. There we go. Okay, shall we move on to the penultimate bracket? No idea why that animation went funny there, but there we go. Just as I was awarded that prize, it all falls down.
Okay, so here we have Grayson Hugh. Apologies for the pronunciation. Let's say Grayson, which I think is conservative, who made it to the top 8 online. So congrats. Also designed the case for, I think it was last 64 afternoon session, the Portals case, which was very nice, despite was the case which got me eliminated, but that's okay. Who we have here? Well, bunch of big names. So Michael Clark going out against Grayson himself. Pakapong, Timothy Shu, Jakub, Adam. I think in this bracket we had also disqualification of a player. We'll not focus on this today. If you want additional info, I suggest checking out the FNWC page. But still a very, very competitive bracket, I think. Curious to see how this matches our prediction. Because I don't think we predicted Grayson to win. Yeah, exactly.
No. I think we were both focusing on Jakub, who knocked both of us out last year, if I remember correctly.
And me too.
I had Shu in there as my pick, which again, scoring over 1,000 points in round one and not progressing is very sad. But it's the way it falls. And your second pick was Michael Clark. And yet another seed knocked out, leaving Grayson to take that top spot, which isn't surprising given the way that his case was a slightly new take on something we've seen before. The data was set out across multiple tabs, which in my time in a competition, I've certainly not seen that very often. So he's obviously got a different way of thinking about it. So nice to see that translates into doing well at the cases as well.
That reminds me of a case designed by the South African team, which was called, I think, the Zansi Hotel or something like that, which was based on having this concept of multiple worksheets. So we saw solutions based on Power Query, solution based on a method I cannot recall how it's called, but it's what I think Diarmuid and Michael Jarman did. So like 3D arrays, something like that, so where you can span among worksheets. I honestly did a modest indirect approach, which was the more straightforward to me. But yeah, it was, I think, a very well thought through case. Lots of creativity there. So, I mean, the contribution of the community in the case creation is really mind blowing. So we're demonstrating a big scalability of the competition. With every time new ideas, very nice stories. So really thumbs up for all the case design team.
Even as you're saying that, I can see Dim in the chat posting that you're prompting him to go write some more lambdas, giving him more ammunition to embarrass us when it comes to the last chance qualifiers in Vegas.
In the meantime, Jacques says Jakub will come back for us, so he's probably going to take the revenge during the day one, this stage, because he qualified for. No, I think he didn't even qualify for day one. It's in the same situation like me, so last chance qualification round, because he won round one but not round two. So, yeah,
absolutely. Right, on to the final bracket then, my bracket. Before we dive into these scores, there was a little bit of a scheduling mix-up, which meant that Liana, Harry, Dan, and I were all competing on one case together. So our scores there are all for portals, which is why Liana and Dan's scores in round one and round two look identical. That portals case was really good. You can see me, Harry, and Dan all getting very similar scores, and then Liana just knocking it out of the park with a second highest score in the bracket, second only to Dim, who got full marks. But even that isn't good enough for Dim, because she clawed it back and in the live stream snuck 10 points ahead of him, and there we go. She makes the final 8.
Yeah, really. Congrats to Liana. It is a thing to eliminate the Diarmuid, especially on the live stream. Especially on a case. This was the Volcano one, right?
No, this was portals. This was the afternoon session. Oh no,
that's Volcano.
The head-to-head. Sorry,
Yeah.
Liana versus Diamond. Yeah, it was the reunion one. Yeah.
So it's also a case which I think, compared to the lambdas Dim has on maps, should suit him. I still need to watch the live stream to see how it was, because I don't watch the live stream until I've made I tried the case myself to not spoil any any kind of hint or nothing. So curious to see this tough battle. But yeah, really congrats to both, because those are really high scores, and eventually came down to 10 points difference. So really close.
Dim says on the chat it's the second time he's gone out on a live stream. I think from memory, Dim, this is the third time out of 4 you've gone out in these head-to-head rounds. You used to get out on the curse of round 2, if in my memory serves right. But you do manage to claw it back quite well in those Vegas rounds. So I'm not too worried for you. Don't have too much sympathy for you there.
Yeah.
I think really bearing in mind that technically Liana knocked me out because all 4 of us were competing on the same case. Last year, Jakub knocked me out, and he made all the way to the final 8, just like Liana here. So I think knocking me out is key. I think for anyone looking to compete next year, knock me out in the head-to-heads, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, that could be the key for the competition. Yeah, particularly understand Dermot because I feel the pressure myself during the live competition. So it's not enough to be very good. You also have to hold your nerves and perform at your best, especially during the live stream, which comes with pros and cons. So the pressure is for sure a con, and I cannot imagine how it will be on the stage in Vegas. Okay, so our predictions here were overall good, I would say. So you picked your first choice, Liana. So very, very good spot. Dermot still making to round 3. And then you had a clash with Liana, Harry, and Dan in round 1, which was honestly really, really tough to make it through. And then Siders ending this online journey in round 2, I guess. Yeah.
Absolutely. And a couple of other very familiar names there on the knockout list with Colin Davidson, Michael Holmes, Paul Dent, Chris Wilson, Kareem Owenat. It's lots of names there you will have recognised if you've been following this journey. But I think our little group of 4 was a particularly tough little setup, particularly when it was then going to be inevitably followed up by facing Dim. So well done, Liana. Absolutely smashed it, which is just fantastic.
Yeah. So those were the 8 brackets we had for the online sessions. So 4 very nice head-to-head battles, and now in 4 weeks we will have Vegas. So day 1 it will be last chance qualification round again. Then day 2 and day 3 straight into the finals, where we will select the new Excel World Champion. So yeah, compared to what you were saying before, I think I'm fully excited, probably 30-40% for the competition and 60-70% to meet in the community, because I mean that's really a key component of this whole thing. It would have been the same, honestly, without this community. So I think the spirit, it's really nice to live and share among the others. I don't know what's your take on this.
Absolutely, you've hit the nail on the head there. It's such a great community. Everyone's really supportive of each other. We're at that stage now, as we've seen with some of the things that have come up this year, where the competition is getting bigger. It's getting a bigger audience. It's getting more interest. I really hope that the community finds a way to keep the community spirit we've had so far, because it's really pushed me to get better at Excel. I'd only been working with Excel for about a year when I first came across this competition, a year and a half. It was Dim's videos and Bo's videos and everyone else that was sharing that got me from nothing onto the final 32 last year. And now this year, obviously didn't make it as far, but that's because the standard is so much higher, which is in part by how generous people like Dim, people like you are with sharing their solutions. And even brand new people being brave enough to share their solutions, or even just talk to other people in the community and share what they're thinking. It's a lovely place to be.
Yeah, I really, really hope the same. I think if we want to brainstorm a little bit, the 2 main challenges I see going forward for the competition overall will be, on one side, make the scalability sustainable. So it's great to leverage participants as case authors. Maybe the creation and testing process will need to adjust a little bit to introduce maybe, I don't know, more transparency and structure to the process. That's my first take. My second one will be balance the level of entertainment with the the satisfaction of the participants. For example, I've seen a few comments on the LinkedIn page of FWC saying this mechanism of seeding and having just one big event for 1 year, where basically the lack of the seeding decides a big part of it. It's not annoying, but a thing to consider. On the other side, I totally understand they cannot do 10 competitions per year. This will be probably too much, but maybe they could evaluate a revision of the format. Like for example, in soccer, you have a first step where you have round robin among, I don't know, 4, 5, 6 teams, and then you go into knockout phase. Maybe if you keep doing that one time a year, it could be a nice transition to balance a bit the lack of the seeding with the entertainment level, because I totally understand KO is clearly more entertaining than round robins, which might be also entertaining. What's your take on this?
Absolutely. They've got some trade-offs to do. I've been thinking about this a lot myself recently. That scalability is really important. I think we're also going to need to find some way of stepping up the challenge as well, because looking at these scores this year, some very, very strong scores, and the cases certainly aren't any easier. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. Be interesting to see what happens, as you say, in terms of seedings, whether we move to some other ratings. But yeah, it's an exciting time to be involved. I would certainly like to see events happening elsewhere in the world. I know there are sub-competitions like Klinsmann's competition for FNWC Brazil, as well as I think there's a South Africa one. It's great to see
Madagascar, India, there are a bunch coming out in the last months.
But I think if it continues to grow, it'd be great to see a final in Europe, a final in India in a couple of years. Almost how the World Cup moves around and all that sort of stuff. So it will be interesting to see where it goes from here. I think onwards and upwards, hopefully. But yeah, just great to be a part of it.
Yeah, me too. Totally supportive for whatever will make this competition grow in difficulty, in audience, in whatever. So to keep the level of entertainment there. So let's see what the future will have for us. But at the moment, the near future is in 4 weeks, Las Vegas. So I think the focus should be there.
Absolutely. Do you want to do one last check of the comments? Make sure we're not missing anyone that's watching live before we turn off.
I have seen Klinsmann, who's probably into music as well, suggesting to have some bands playing in the arena in Vegas. So that would be a very nice show to have.
There's guitars and pianos behind me. I used to sing opera, so if anyone wants operatic excel,
okay, so we have one more.
Get me some backing. We'll do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, cannot add value here with music, but yeah. Jack says you look ready to do this.
Thank you so much.
But we need someone to sing. So
yeah, absolutely.
The singer position is still open. If you want to consider to be the singer, don't hesitate to candidate yourself. So
I'll be too busy with the PowerPoint competition, surely. Oh, thanks so much for having me, Lorenzo, and thanks for organizing this online streaming thing. I would have had no idea how to do this, so thank you for setting it up. Really exciting to be able to do a video this way.
Yeah, me too. Thanks everyone for being there. Let us know in the comments if you have liked this format, and thank you everybody. We speak soon.
Thanks a lot, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.